A lot of people ask me why I use the term agile adoption, not agile transformation. And fundamentally, I don't think you can transform an organization. I think there's a lot of stuff out there about it. It's one of the old jokes is how many agile coaches does it take to change a light bulb? Only one, but the light bulb's got to want to change. And so this is why when APD works with a customer, a client, a partner is the way we prefer to look at it. What we do is we start where you are and we look about bringing in practices and changes that will help improve the net outcome of the team, the individual, and the organization. And then we'll bring in practices as appropriate bit by bit. And it's a balancing act, but you cannot rush your partner. You've got to work collaboratively with your partner to bring in the changes that will help them be more effective. At the end of it, you will notice that the culture has changed. I saw a funny movie the other night called The Hitman about a chap who was based in New Orleans, and he was a university lecturer on psychology, and he pretended to be a hitman for New Orleans Police Department, and he would go and talk to people and present himself as a hitman and get the evidence that they were trying to get somebody inhumed. The interesting thing about that was that there was a theme in the movie that if you act in the manner of the person you like to be, you will change how you present and how you behave. And it's very similar to the APD approach. Whereas if we can bring some practices iteratively and incrementally in an agile way and inspect and adapt the adoption of the practices and get rid of some of the impediments around you, that will help the organization ultimately be more effective, which will then change the way it works. And as Pete Drucker says, an organizational culture is really the way things are done around here. So rather than try and say, oh, we need to change the mindset, we need to change the values, it's like, well, that's a very tough thing to do. If we focus on consistent routines, practices, behaviors, techniques, then the appropriate culture will grow from that. That is unique to that individual, team, and organization. And so it should be. And so that's one of the reasons that cookie cutter agile transformations do it like this. We're going to do this framework with this model and wash, rinse, repeat. It doesn't work. Clearly doesn't work if you have a look at some of the noise out there. Whereas successful adoptions allow for diversity of individual practices, but core principles based on fast feedback loops, transparency, and a can-do culture is really effective and will supercharge your organization.